Breaking news, everybody. Doom scrolling on TikTok and Instagram is bad for you. What? I know. I'm just kidding. I'm tooting your who a little bit. Everybody knows that. However, not until a very, very recent study came out, I don't think people knew how bad it was in other areas it affects, which is pretty crazy because I feel like most people, including me, was under the impression that staying on TikTok for hours and hours or Instagram, just doom scrolling over and over again, hurts your attention span. And sometimes, if you're on it a lot, it can sometimes hinder your mental health. But then people, on the other hand, would talk about, let me be careful with the wording here, adult content on the internet. They would say this is really bad. And it is. It's horrible. Do not watch it. People have gotten MRIs on people who consume that type of content, and they can physically see their brain change. However, I want to show you something. This is the study that came out, and you can see it just released. And it was a study of nearly 100,000 people, and they did it in terms of TikTok and Instagram. And here's the real kicker. This is the list of things that it affects: social isolation, poorer sleep, increased anxiety, lower life satisfaction, and loneliness. Now, if you have keen eyes, you know that that sounds a lot like adult content, because it is. You can scroll on Instagram or TikTok and you can see a lot of people having a great time being out partying while you're all by yourself in your room. And it makes you not feel so good about yourself. So if you're lonely, it does increase the feeling of social isolation or loneliness. It can also increase anxiety because you see how other people are thriving. And a lot of people who have anxiety, one of the things they have to control is screen time, because they feel sometimes safe on their phone. And maybe some of you have anxiety, but when they go out, it's a whole different story. And if any of you spend time in public, in other words, if you're near civilization, which is where people are, by the way, if you guys didn't know that, I don't know if any of you are living in an igloo in Antarctica, fucking living with the polar bears or anything. Possibly, it's not impossible. If you walk around, you notice, I'm going to go ahead and show you a little visual representation. Yay, so cool. So I see this at the gym, airports, grocery stores, in public, everywhere, with young people. There's actually this outdoor mall I go to that has a ton of high schoolers and middle schoolers, and I see it all the time. You ever notice, you see some like older people, and when they're walking around, it's pretty normal. They're, walking around like this with things in their pocket. But then you see people who are around my age or high school or middle school, and they're always walking on their phones like this, not aware of anything that's going on around them. Sometimes you have the ones that upgraded the brain rot update 2, and the update allows them to look up at their phone. So you'll see them, I'm going to squat down a little bit. You'll see them kind of, do this, kind of make sure they don't run into anyone. They probably still do, right? Now, the point I'm making here is people cannot get off their phones ever. In an airport, I'm on my phone in public too. I'm not saying I'm never on my phone, but people are glued to their phones. It's not even like it's a bed rot thing. People lay in bed, on their phones, but they can't get off of it in public when people are around. Civilization is around them. Sentient humanoids are around them. Homo sapiens even. And the one big sign of someone who has the bed rot syndrome or the doom scrolling disease is you'll see them, I see at the gym sometimes, they'll get done with their set, and then they'll do this. You know what I mean? They'll open their phone, open the weather channel or something, swipe out of it, swipe a few times like this, open the calendar app to see if there's any calendar app updates. I don't know. That is the biggest sign, is I see people, they're all fidgety with their phone. What is interesting is there's a study from 1970, Groves and Thompson's dual theory of habituation and sensitization. According to this framework, repeated exposure to highly stimulating, fast-paced content may contribute to habituation, in which users become desensitized to slower, more effortful cognitive tasks such as reading, problem solving, or deep learning. This process may gradually reduce cognitive endurance and weaken the brain's ability to sustain attention on a single task. Now, certainly this sounds very familiar. We have a generation of mass iPad kids. They're now iPad adults, millennials, and it's not good. It really isn't good. One of the things is I think ChatGPT in school makes this worse because people are used to getting the instant answer to everything and have ChatGPT do it for them. So when it comes to time for them to get a job, they don't have the mental capacity to focus on something, because in the past, I see people do it all the time. When I was in college, they would be on ChatGPT doing their work and kind of just, bullshitting it, just trying to get something that sounds good enough. Then they'd be on other tabs on YouTube or something. It's a mind virus and it's bad. Now, I'm not saying I'm fully not guilty of it. I do sometimes bedrock, but it's scary. These people, the young people of today's society, are who's going to run our country in the future. And it's not good because I think people tend to casually view screen time. They put it down here. It's pretty severe. You should limit it. It's gonna screw up your sleep, attention span. But then they put adult content like here because people recognize that it completely alters your brain. But I think they're closer together. I still think adult content's worse, but I think they're closer together than people give them credit for. Because in the study, it said that it excels social isolation, loneliness, and it did say it alters your brain so you cannot focus on tasks. That is brain altering stuff. That's what I mean, that's some of the big downsides of drugs and drinking is they alter your brain, your body's chemistry. So it's crazy to me. There's this mass medium that everybody has on them at all times that can severely alter their brains. It's not like taking drugs where you're high for a little bit, then you're fine. And you might have some effects, but it's all good. Don't worry about it. But this has long-term effects. It affects everything you do, your life, your relationships, your jobs, your work. It's crazy. Everyone has it, and we now have a mass population with this issue. And sometimes I feel like we're doomed. Because just imagine, one of our presidents, holy shit, I have an antenna on my head. One of our future presidents is going to be one of these doom-scrolling iPad adults. I mean, could you imagine? He's in a meeting with the president of Russia. Hey, so about that nuclear deal, one second. Yeah, we should stop nuclear war and shit. You know what I'm saying? Like, for real. Anyway, that's how I imagine it. I just wanted to talk about this because I think it's a very serious issue and something people talk about. But I just think when this study came out, and there's other more specific information about it out there, but I covered like the general information that you need to know for this video. Phones, doom scrolling, it affects a bigger array of things than you would imagine. I think what's scary about it is there's no cure for it. Let me put it this way. If people, for some reason, they had a digital display on their forehead of their screen time, and you went out in public, let's say you went to an amusement park or you went to a mall or a concert, somewhere there's a lot of people. If you saw people's daily screen time displayed on their foreheads and you saw the sheer number of high screen time users, I think you would lose faith in humanity. Is this all making sense? It's a little bit scary. Not saying I'm innocent. I definitely have some screen time, but I'm not glued to my phone like that. I still like reading and I have an attention span. And I can focus on tasks, but a lot of people can't, and that's bad. That's going to affect them for the rest of their lives. And it's not like you can just put your phone away. I mean, your family, your friends, everything's on here. Some people's, this is how they answer work calls. So there's this thing that's causing mental illness and changing our brain chemistry that we literally cannot get rid of. There's never been anything like it in the world. But anyway, I just want to share it with you guys. I thought it was interesting, very concerning, and I just want to talk about it. So yeah, you know what? Comment your guys' screen time today in the comments. I want to hear what your screen time is today. We'll see how many of you are addicted to your phones, you little doom scrollers. I'll see you guys next time. Thank you for over 20 subscribers. Again, I really appreciate it.